Okay, my question is simple. What do you blog about in weekly romancing emails? It seems like if you talk about technique, you just get other artists as followers who may be copying your style. I'm a painter, pretty straightforward, so there's not much technique to talk about. Journal about the creative lifestyle? Well, that seems pretty boring. I'd be making it all up. Glamorize my life? I'd be making that up too. Yeah, don't do any of that. The content is already in my artist statement where I'm showing sales. I'm not a copywriter. Even 3 paragraphs can take a long time for me to write. I get that. I'm not sure the payback is there. Then you have to put it in MailChimp graphic and design. It can take 5 hours to get these out. You know what? I'm sort of with you on that. I'm not. I think blogging is cool, like for some types of businesses. I think it's good for, adding content to your site. I'm not hugely bullish on it from a time perspective. I think, if you have 3 impactful sentences about the piece that you did and why it should be valuable, or like why people should care about it. You don't obviously say that, but you need to figure that out. I'm going to get to that in a second. That's all you need. And I mean, you can easily put that in a blog post too, like just upload the image and have 3 sentences. If you're familiar with, a really successful guy, and he's an author as well, as Seth Godin, Godin, check out his blog. It'll give you a lot more confidence that you could have like really short snippet blog posts. I think that he's a genius, because people don't have the time and attention to read a ton. And so he just totally plays into that and just gives them a little bit. But essentially, all you're doing is taking what you should be posting on social media, sending out in an email, and just throwing it into a blog post. Don't overcomplicate it, make it simple. But you have a more important question here. What do you want to blog about, right? It seems like if you talk about technique and all this other stuff. Here's the thing. I can't tell you what to talk about, but I will tell you generally what you need to talk about. You need to talk about whatever it is that your customers or your leads care about. And you need to find out exactly what that is. That is all that matters. Not me or anyone can tell you what that is. You need to go and you need to talk to them. You need to find out what it is. So since you brought up the conservation, maybe like there's probably a conservation thing about it, or something like that. I don't know, but like generally you just have to put yourself in their shoes, and you got to ask them all the time. Like, do you like my emails? Like, you probably have people or friends like on your list, or you will have them, or maybe you send them stuff. Like, you got to get feedback, and it's got to not be your friends too. You got to ask people you don't know as well, as you continue to build emails, or you get out in person and you ask people. Like, but ultimately you have one task to do. And it's not just you're asking an existential question here, because it's not just about your blog. You need to know what makes your customers tick, so that you can create things that make them tick, and so that you can talk to them in a way that is useful to them and brightens their day and adds value to them. And if you do that, you're going to have an extremely successful business. If you have trouble getting those answers and figuring that out, and you find yourself 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, not able to answer this question, or like what I'm telling you today, you're going to still be struggling. Everyone is. I don't care who anyone is who's listening to this. If you do not know your customers extremely deeply, what makes them tick, and you're not creating artwork for them and what makes them tick, you're not doing anything useful in the world. You're not adding value. You may say like, I love what I do because, people like my work and they compliment it, and I brighten people's lives. Well, if they're not like reacting to what you're doing, and they're not buying your stuff, and people aren't signing up for your list, it's just that's the universe basically saying that you're not providing it with enough value, to where people care to hang it on their walls. Like, it's not brightening their day enough, And this is not just an art thing. This is any business, right? A business succeeds or fails based on its usefulness to a specific set of customers. It is literally as simple as that. So just be useful. Just be as useful as possible, and come at it with that mindset. You'll create amazing work that people love. You'll change the world.